Welcome to Lipsticks and Lariats. Oh, hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Are you a massive professional wrestling fan? Do you find yourself screaming at the TV, cheering for your favorite superstars, and analyzing every single match? But maybe you feel like the conversation is always dominated by the same voices. Well, get ready, because we're here to change the game. The all-female podcast that's flipping the script on wrestling commentary. We are friends who live and breathe everything from this squared circle. We're talking about the high-flying action, the epic promos, the shocking heel turns, and the drama that happens both in and out of the ring. From the independent scene to the biggest pay-per-views, we cover it all. Each week, we dive deep into the latest news, review recent shows, and give our unfiltered opinions on the biggest storylines. We're not afraid to get passionate, have a laugh, and maybe even disagree a little. We'll break down match psychology, celebrate the incredible athleticism of these performers, and share our predictions for what's coming next. We also love to shine a spotlight on the women's division, celebrating the progress and pushing for even more. So, if you're looking for a fresh, fun, and fiery take on the world of wrestling, you've found your new home. Don't miss out on a single episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and get ready to talk some smack with us.
You love women? Well, I don't, except for the lady right here, my co-host Nikki. Welcome to Lipsticks and Lariat, episode 3. The podcast where the takes are sharp, the sarcasm is free, and the only thing more dramatic than professional wrestling is the internet arguing about professional wrestling. I'm your host, Katherine, aka She Hates Women's Wrestling, with my tag team partner, Nikki from the bar, and today we're diving into the wild world of sports entertainment, the only place where a wrestler can be hit with a chair, thrown through a table, and still show up 5 minutes later with perfect hair and a microphone, ready to cut a promo about respect. Like Nikki and me. Because wrestling isn't just a sport, and sometimes it's the equivalent of someone getting smacked in the face with a cream pie. So today, we're breaking down the biggest stories in wrestling, debating the hottest takes, and probably questioning at least one booking decision, which I know we're going to get into today. And let's be honest, basically, it's a tradition at this point. So, audience, listen, grab your belts, grab your snacks, and maybe keep a cream pie handy because I have one for someone today, just in case someone cuts a promo that deserves it. Welcome to Lipsticks and Lariats. How are you doing on this fine Sunday, Nikki?
I'm doing well here. I'm excited to talk to you. There's a lot I know we're going to get into.
Oh, yes. So, our first segment is our top rope where we discussed headlines. So, my first headline, Chris Jericho filed a trademark for the word cornerstone. What do you think this means?
Honestly, I think he's staying with AEW. I think it's because he needs to do something new in AEW, and he can say, like, he's the cornerstone. Like, they wanted to bring Chris Jericho in to bring eyes to the product. He was their first champion. I think that's where he's going, and it's gonna. To me, it sounds like it's gonna be better than the Learning Tree because that was god awful.
Hi guys.
God, oh, Nick drops that constantly, but I'm thinking I want him to be back as like a good like. I feel like the Learning Tree kind of just put like a sour taste in my mouth with Chris Jericho, and I did not like that at all. I don't think he did anything for Big Bill or the Bad Apple. I just want him to do kind of something different and maybe just be a good in again.
Well, if there is one person in professional wrestling that can reinvent themselves, it is Chris Jericho.
Yep.
So, I'm kind of like you. I think with him trademarking that, I think he might be staying with AEW. So we'll have to wait and see. Our next topic, I don't know if many of you know, but Scott D'Amore, who used to run TNA, now works with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, and it was announced that they have a TV deal with TSN Canada for a weekly show starting in July. Is this good or bad for the business?
I think it's good. The more, again, I say this all the time, all the boats, all the ships, all the tides. Like, I think more people getting paid, more people enjoying something different. I think their promotion, the little that I've seen, has been different from kind of what we see on TV now. So, like, why not?
I watched their pay-per-view last night, Uprising. I missed Global Wars, but it was actually pretty good. I was like, that's $20 well spent. So I'm hoping they do well on TSN and then it gets picked up here in America so I can start watching it. We need more wrestling on TV.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, there's plenty of other nights. We got, what?
I don't watch wrestling on Tuesdays.
Yeah, there's not. That's terrible. Don't watch it on Tuesdays.
I don't watch it on Thursdays. Because NXT and TNA are not hitting it.
No, but why not? I think I get more competition. What could be better?
That's true. Do you think AEW needs shorter title reigns because of their bloated roster to give their wrestlers more opportunities to hold titles?
I think there's a fine line because I know when we talk about WWE, the hot potato is hot potatoing over there. And then we had Roman for having the belt so long. Like, there's going to be like a middle ground. I don't want it to feel like, oh, it has to be hot potato because everyone needs to touch the belt.
So what would your ideal time limit be for someone holding a title?
I don't know. I honestly, it depends on the person. Like, I'm thinking like MJF having the belt he had that year run. If he goes on another year run, I don't think he will, but I don't think it would bother me if Roman Reigns gets the belt and goes on another year run and I don't see the belt on TV, then I'll be mad. I think it depends on the person and then what they're bringing to TV, what they're bringing to pay-per-views or PLEs and how they carry the belt. If it's in a bag or not on TV, then I think that's a detriment. But if you're doing something with the title, you're a defending champion, then I don't really care how long you have it.
I would probably say maybe a year or depending on storyline. Like, you know how WWE has like their main 4 pay-per-views? So you have like Royal Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could hold like from Rumble to Mania. Give me a new champion from Mania to Survivor Series. Yeah. Maybe 6 months, depending on the story.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. Don't give it to Roman. Let him hold it for 4 years, and then we barely see him.
Right.
So that's why they had to create the I can't beat Roman title because he's never here to defend the title.
I want to see my champions on TV. I want a defending champion. I want like the open challenges that they've been doing. Like, give me something different. I want to see my champion. That's the whole point, is having your champion on TV. And it makes no sense to me to not have your champion on TV.
Yeah, I missed the 30-day rule where you had to defend your title every 30 days.
But then I also feel like if you hotshot it back and forth too much, then it kind of diminishes that a little bit too. And like going back to Charlotte, Sasha, going like, you know, they're like Charlotte's like 12-time whatever reign. It's because she held it for a month and then dropped it to Sasha, and who had it for a week and then dropped it back to her, back and forth. Like, that did nothing for the belt for so long. Like, that is also the opposite effect. So there's a middle ground. Again, it depends on the person, depends on the story.
Yeah, I think if I had to like put a time limit on it, I think like least amount 6 months, full amount maybe a year, year and a half, depending on if you have, well, like MJF, I can see MJF holding the title for a year, year and a half, because you've got 5 people that are gunning for him right now. So you can make a story for those 4 people to chase him up into your pay-per-view.
Right. I agree.
So, Nick says, need to have a significant time with the title or the moment, and the reign means nothing. We don't listen to Nick.
I'm famous for not listening.
This is the same person that doesn't believe in heels versus heels. I'm gonna have to write an article about that.
He's my simple boy that wants to know who to cheer and wants to know who to boo.
Okay, so Nikki, I've got this great idea that we should rename SmackDown. And I have the perfect name for it. So, if producer will hit the graphic, this is our new name for SmackDown. We're going to start calling it Friday Night Jelly Roll.
I love it. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, there was a lot of him. And I was trying to give him some grace, and now this feels real extra.
And I think the sad part is we're probably going to get that up until WrestleMania. So for what, the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks, we're going to have a lot of Jelly Roll.
Well, him taking the RKO, do you think maybe that RKO will kind of write him off for a little bit? Or do you think he's going to have a Mania match?
Oh, they're definitely giving him a Mania match. I'm not sure if it's going to be a solo match or a tag match, but yeah, they're putting him on Mania.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't like him and the Kit Wilson thing. I love Kit Wilson. So him being on TV, getting that time he is with the celebrity on TV, that's fine. But all the backstage extraness of like giving Rhea Ripley guidance, like, who are you? Apologize.
He's the SmackDown guidance counselor.
Seriously. And then he, like last week when he was talking to Randy, you got to apologize to Matt. And then we went up to Matt Cardona. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought he would apologize to you. Like, why are you don't go here.
I'm not sure. And I mean, and it would be okay if he was somewhat athletic or could wrestle some. I guess that's why I didn't have a reason with like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny coming in.
Yeah.
But this is just terrible. And then you're just putting him in these segments like he's the school counselor. And we're going to talk about that RKO he took. Oh, my. That was bad. That was bad. Also, I have another headline. It seems that my boy, Kyle Fletcher, got injured last night after a collision. And he was seen walking around in a boot. So I hope it's nothing serious. But if it is, who do you think the TNT title should go to? If he has to relinquish the title.
That I want it back on Tommaso. I feel like they did him dirty. Again, talking about the title reigns and how little he had it. Like, that means nothing. Like, put the belt on the Psycho Killer. Let him be the Psycho Killer. And because again, that promo he cut, that I love when he at the end he like kicks a chair and he's like Sylvie, and I love his promos. Like, give me that, Tommaso. But I feel like Nick, like if Fletcher's, would they pop it back on a face because he was a heel for so long? Is it just going to go on a Don Callis person because it's keep it in the family? I don't know who has the power to do all that.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm wondering if they're like, we'll put the belt on you, but we're going to Australia. We're going to have you drop it to Kyle to give him that boost and that pop in his home country. And then we'll set up a program with y'all two. And then, Kyle gets hurt. So there goes that program.
Yeah.
So, and it's either going to be a tournament or like some battle royal to see who wins. So I think it'd either come down to Mark Briscoe or Ciampa.
TK does a tournament, so you're right. It's probably going to be a tournament if it comes to that. Oh, I hope it's. I don't know. Which is cautionary. The injury bug is definitely going around right now, and it's real scary.
And it seems it does that like every 6 months.
Yeah.
Like one promotion to get hit with the injury bug, and then the other one will get hit with the injury bug.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it? I only got through maybe the first half hour of Collision.
I had it on, and I was kind of watching that while I was watching Maple Leaf Uprising. So I didn't really see where he got hurt at.
Okay.
But I know he was in a tag match because it was Aussie Open. It was him and Mark Davis.
Okay.
So it wasn't like he was tagging with someone he wasn't unfamiliar with.
I don't know. I hope it's something just like, how Jordan Grace hurt herself on the easiest thing that you've done 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I'm
hope it's
hoping nothing is maybe just a sprain and they're being cautious about
yeah.
it or something. Well, after getting my butt kicked in that first segment, it is time for our top rope segment, where I'm gonna hit that hot tag, and we're gonna debate some topics. So, Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
I know some people do not like this person. I like this person. I know Tammy likes this person. But do you think the hate for Austin Theory is forced?
I don't know. Force seems like what WWE's trying to get him booed.
Do you
I
feel like he's in
honestly-
the same boat as Randy, where people really won't like him, but they're trying to get you not to like him?
I really feel indifferent about him, to be honest with you. I don't feel a need to cheer him or boo him. He's just there cutting bland promos.
And to take the pins for the
And
vision.
then take the pins. Honestly, I feel like I loved him in the way in NXT. I did like him as a disciple of Seth, of course, because me and Seth. But then Vince got his clutches on him, and then John Cena tore him apart in that promo. And to me, he's never bounced back.
After their Mania match.
After the Mania match, he won, and John Cena, he's like, you're gonna win, and no one's gonna care. It's not gonna do anything for you, and it hasn't. He beat John Cena, and no one talks about it. And Austin Theory's,
I think maybe he needs, when his contract is up, does not need to re-sign and maybe go on the indies and try to recreate himself.
Yeah, I feel like he needs a Drew Jinder Cody kind of Cardona.
And I mean, I liked him and Grayson Waller together. I thought they were a good tag team and should have been tag team champions.
Yeah, I feel like he does need to go away because I don't think, to me, not like a stink, but there's a stink on him. You're not doing really anything, or what could there have been something if everyone didn't get injured? Now he's just with Logan Paul, and they're both meh.
Well, they're going to be your new tag team champions.
They're going to be new tag team. They are. And I hope there's another, again, we talk about this, and there's going to be another multi-man tag match, and hopefully the belts are taken off them. I think it is just the look to have Logan Paul walk in as champion. And then hopefully not walk out as champion.
Well, I know on your podcast, you talk about babies and how you want to see the younger talent push.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, after Friday night, WWE has no male champions on their main roster under 40 now. Do you think this is concerning?
Yes, I do. I very much think, and I'm holding it to our other segment, how I feel about a certain title change. I think it's so dumb. You have all these up and coming people, and you're not doing anything with them. Push your young kids. We're not going to have these people forever. And don't make the mistake that Vince is oh, we have to get Hogan. We have to get Hogan. Oh, we have to get John Cena. We have to get Brock. Again, you're breaking case of emergency because you don't have anybody else. I guess the last two people you would say, I guess Seth and Roman, that kind of kids you built from the ground up. Again, I know Seth was an ROH and all that other stuff, but that you built up to be champions. Who do you have now? Because again, Seth and Roman are in their 40s. Everyone is in their 40s now. Who was your young babies? You just took the belt off him. We'll get there, but I'm not happy about it.
I didn't figure you would be. I know a lot of people were not happy with that. Well, since we're females, and some of us like women's wrestling, some of us don't, there were only 9 minutes of women's wrestling on Raw. Is this a concern for WWE?
I think or me, I don't want to lump us together. I think certain fans are probably upset about it. I think they don't care. I think there's not a lot of wrestling in general. I think there are so many promo segments and commercials, but like, I do think that's shitty. Like, I praised them 3 weeks ago for doing that gauntlet match to have a shot at AJ. Like, give them time. You have 3 hours on both shows. There's enough time to give everyone a little magic, a little spot, give everyone their 5 minutes. But if you take a whole division and only give them 5 minutes, that's not doing anything for them.
Well, since everyone claims that WWE has the best women's division, and you gave them 9 minutes on Raw, they did have 21 minutes on SmackDown. But AEW and their Dynamite, they had 22 minutes of women's wrestling. But they don't have the best women's division, according to people.
I like both divisions. I think they both have very talented rosters. I don't know if I really prefer one over the other. There's certain people I like on both shows. There's certain people I don't like on both shows. But I think there's, again, for WWE, they have enough of a roster that they could give more time to. And I love that Tony, because I criticized him before because sometimes he doesn't always, or in the past always did it. And I feel like now he's getting better at it. But I know I like to see the women on TV again. How is anyone supposed to get better if you don't give them a chip and a chair? Give them that opportunity.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, my whole issue with the women's wrestling thing is the performance. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, all the people bitching about, oh, well, they don't have a lot of women's wrestling. Well, I don't see you out here bitching about 9 minutes of wrestling on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just doing it to either get likes on Twitter or rage bait people. I don't really see you being an advocate for women's wrestling. And it sucks that I, who hate women's wrestling, sounds like I'm being an advocate for women's wrestling.
I don't know. People just like that's
9 minutes out of a 2.5 hour show.
I know.
And
it's not great.
I don't know. They need to give me the book. I just get rid of women's wrestling altogether then.
No. When it's good, it's good. I know it hasn't in WWE hasn't been great. But when it's done good, it's good. Again, give people a chip and a chair, push the babies.
Maybe they need to go watch Stardom or something and get an idea. Because that's about the only women's wrestling I like.
Well, again, they have Julia there. They're doing shit with her. And maybe she'd be like, hey, look at my previous stuff. Maybe do something like this.
And the same with Vakir. You've got Stephanie Vakir there. Nothing. Her title run has been awful. Her booking has been awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people, she doesn't speak English very well. Well, let her speak in her native tongue and put subtitles on TV. People can read.
Yeah. Actually, it's not bad. Like, they say that
or
about
give her a mouthpiece. Give her a manager who could speak for her then.
Yeah.
If that was your issue.
And like she's cut promos. Like, she can talk. Like, there's obviously an accent there, but like, you can understand what she's saying. And if you think they can, then do a subtitle. Like, I don't know if at this point if a mouthpiece is gonna help her. I know Nick wants her with Dom, and I'd hate that. But I don't know. I feel like they're not good at booking women's wrestling, and I feel like now that they have like the head woman's writer on Raw, that I thought maybe this would change a little bit. Again, change is going to take time. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks. But I'm hoping we just got to get through WrestleMania, and hopefully there be a shift. Obviously, I think there's going to be a shift in belts, and hopefully with certain factions, and maybe we can get to a point when we can show women a little more.
Maybe. Well, that hot tag was something. So now we're going to move on to our lipstick and lariat of the week. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. So, Nikki, who gets your lipstick and lariat of the week?
So my lipstick of the week, I am giving to Kenny Omega. I know that's your boy. I'm sort of stealing him for right now. I just think that match with him and Swerve was so good. I just was saying to Nick, I was like, he just looked healthy. And I feel like he's been back for a little bit, but to me, like, I don't know, like the look in his eyes, just how he looked, he just felt like, oh, like Kenny, we got Kenny back. And then and I don't know if it was a camera angle, but like Swerve was in the ropes and he came and hit the V trigger, and it was just like the perfect shot, and it looked so good, so crisp, and I was like, oh, Kenny's back. And then he came back and cut the promo to MJF afterwards, and I'm not always a huge Kenny promo fan, but I feel like he hit the beats on it. And again, I was like, oh, Kenny's back. This is the Kenny I needed. This is what we need to see. I'm excited about him and MJF, so I'm giving it to Kenny this week.
I like your lipstick this week. I did see a lot of people bitching about Omega Swerve starting off Dynamite, but it made sense. And people were saying they should have main evented Dynamite. Then he wouldn't have got to drop his promo on MJF. So I understand why they did it. I just thought it was very funny that that's what you're fussing about.
Yeah.
That, it should have main evented. Yeah, it probably could have, but there was a reason it didn't.
Yeah, because I said this to you last week, and I was like, "Oh, I hope they give him a couple minutes, like a good chunk of time." And then I was in our kitchen, and Nick's like, "Oh, it's starting. They're starting." And I was like, "Why are they opening?" And then actually watching the match and then watching the rest of the show, I'm like, "All right, I get it. I see it." So not mad at it. And the initial, I was like, "Oh, come on!" But then watching again, sometimes you just have to sit and watch and take it in. So again, people just want to bitch to bitch. I'm like, "You saw a great match. What does it matter? Move on."
Well, my lipstick of the week is going to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling for getting a TV deal in Canada. Congrats to them. I can't wait to figure out how to legally stream that in the United States so I can watch it.
Yeah. Again, all the boats, all the ships, I think it's so exciting for them to have that opportunity. Again, more competition, breeds better wrestling.
And I wouldn't mind seeing them become the number 3 promotion.
Yeah.
Because I think they could knock TNA out of that number 3 spot.
Was it like he left but sort of got fired, but left but got fired? But like, I think TNA losing him was a big kick to that brand.
I agree. So who gets your lariat of the week?
I'm giving it to the men's US title division because I hate it. I hate what they did on SmackDown. It made me so angry.
I thought I heard you yelling all the way from Jersey down here in North Carolina.
Yes, it was. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand. Again, how are we booking WrestleMania? Nick just goes to Trick, like, hey, you're getting a match at Mania. Don't know what you're doing, but you're going to be there, buddy. And then Sammy's like, well, what about me, sir? And he's like, you kind of suck. No, he's like, I'm going to work my way in. And then there's a random segment with Tama Tonga and Nakamura again. They've been flirting with each other and flirting about going after the U.S. title, but haven't done anything. And Sammy getting the match, but he's like, isn't he supposed to talk to Nick Aldis to get the U.S. title shot? Or is he just the first in Gorilla to walk out? Like,
I think it was because it was an open challenge, so whoever gets there first.
So that bothered me.
Or he took out who was supposed to be, and we don't know he took out whoever it was supposed to be.
Then what?
I mean, that would have been a great angle. It wasn't supposed to be Sammy, but Sammy was pissed he's not getting a WrestleMania shot, so he takes out whoever Carmelo Mello's opponent was supposed to be, slides into their spot, and he wins.
So then he just came out. Then Trick comes out to watch, and then commentary. Wade, as much as I love Wade Barrett, just puts over Trick the whole time. Then it takes away last week when Aleister Black beat Sammy because he was too distracted by a trick, got in the ring, beautiful Black Mask at night. Then they don't mention Trick and Mello's history at all. Doesn't when Trick, goes to cheap shot Sammy, misses, hits Mello, then Haluva kick at night. It's just like, what? There's so many integral parts and we're not talking about any of them. And then again, Mello was, again, when it was like 11 defenses he did. I think I saw that that word. But it's like, again, your young kid who's doing great, again, could have put him with Eilidh again. Or if you were thinking you could have built up the match to be between Mello and Trick, but this is just hot-shotting the belt to Sammy, to get Sammy on Mania, to drop the belt to Trick. It just seems very convoluted for no reason, just to get Sammy on the card. And I don't.
Which brings up another good question, which we can discuss. You don't have to be on the WrestleMania card if you do not have a compelling story that is WrestleMania worthy. So people bitching about Gunther, people bitching about Io, Sammy, they're not in stories that are WrestleMania worthy. So if they're not on the card, it's okay.
Yeah. No, I just don't know if this is like everyone. I'm assuming this is like Sammy's gonna turn heel at this point. I think they want to put the belt on Trick, but they're not ready to do the Mello Trick story yet, which is fine. But then just have the Sammy Trick match. That doesn't need a belt.
But Trick is a good heel, so you're kind of forcing him to become a babyface.
Like it's cheered like he's a babyface.
You can cheer heels. It's not bad to cheer heels.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I just think it doesn't. I think the Sammy heel turn would be him losing the belt, not necessarily turning on Trick. I think it maybe will have the Monday or the Raw after Mania, or he gets involved and costs somebody. I heard that maybe he'll cost Cody the match or something and go with Randy and do that whole heel turn that way. Again, I think you're just shoving him on the card, just to shove him on the card. And I don't like that it's at the expense of, again, that young division. Like, that was the exciting part. Like, Mello and Eilidh doing stuff and, like, him doing stuff with, like, Dragon Lee. And actually, like, again, the guys from AAA, like, bringing up new people, making an interesting, different match. Now I don't know. I don't need to see Sammy. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling here. I'm just so bad.
I agree. I was like, what in the blue monkey are they doing? Sammy just won the title. And I figured they would set up like maybe a Mello versus Trick at Mania, Mello versus Eilidh at Mania. Ilya's been having matches with Mello.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do have some story there. You could put that on Mania. To me, it's not that compelling, but at least there's a story. Here, there's nothing. So they're basically probably going to do a 3-way or a 4-way, and it'll be Mello, Sammy, Trick, and maybe Aleister Black. Yeah. And I'm so over of all these 3-ways and 4-ways, and everybody's, let's have 3-ways and 4-ways just so we can get everybody on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I just feel like it's just WWE admitting that they're booking this Mania so poorly, because it was just like all this like, hey, you're gonna be there. Don't know what you're doing, but you, kid, you're there. Well, build a storyline, motherfuckers. Like, what are you doing? You had that built-in storyline with Mello and Trick. You have years of NXT footage.
I could see a Mello Trick feud. Ilya Mello feud, since we've had story building up to a match at Mania for them two. So unless Mello was injured or has requested time off, which pretty sure you wouldn't request time off before WrestleMania, there was no reason for him to lose that title.
Agreed. So,
well, my Lariat of the week goes to and I hate to criticize. Oh, it's gonna break my heart to criticize the awful RKO by Randy Orton and the awful Cell Job by Jelly Donut Roll.
Jelly jams.
Yes, that broke my heart. It broke my heart to have to put Orton in the Lariat of the Week.
Yeah. He can only do so much. You got to stand where you need to stand and fall how you need to fall, and he can't.
I would have rather seen Orton give Cody the RKO since, we're having their match at WrestleMania and they're the story. But no, you do it on the school counselor.
Yep. I mean, he sold it. He was there twitching like a fish on the mat, and now Cody's got to avenge Jimmy Jams. I know. It's not great. It's really not great. Just think of all the good ones that he's done.
That hurts. Well, folks, it's time for our main event. So, were there any highlights from any of the shows this week that deserve a spotlight in our main event?
Oh, I know you're not going to agree with me, but I am going to call it out because I am Stephanie and Liv actually came to blows and actually did something than just doing these vignettes at each other. I love that it actually got physical. I love that it actually went into the back line when Liv threw Stephanie and she went like sliding across that whole row of chairs. I thought that was pretty cool. I love that it finally got to a point that it's not just words. Now we're hitting fists. So I want to give that a shout out. I know they're not your favorite, but I do want to.
No, but I will agree with you. It actually kind of made me be like, this match might end up being pretty good.
Yeah, I finally gave it something, and I'm hoping, again, all the guys get the pull apart brawls. Like, why can't give the ladies that too? Like, we did that with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda for so long. Like, that whole Mania feud was always a brawl. Ladies can brawl too. Give me that. Because it wasn't like AJ and they have really, again, it's just them promoing off. They haven't been physical. I'm trying to think. No, on Raw, it was just AJ was on the announce table and they made the match. I want my ladies to hit and hit hard. So I want to give a shout out to them. Oh no.
Thanks, Nick. He said, this may be good is as good of a compliment on women's wrestling that you will get from me. You're right. You are right. I want to highlight the awful promo between Rhea and Jade and the Baddies 2.0. Where it was just downright terrible. And it was a tie between that and the RKO for my Lariat of the Week, but I put Randy on there instead. I mean, what happened to promo class? I know they used to have it in WWE. Do they not have it anymore? Because all of these ladies need to go to promo class.
Yeah, it was not. I don't know. It's not like this feels like sort of, and I hate to like X-Pac heat. This is not just like, oh, you're a heel, I'm supposed to boo you. Like, no one wants to see you here. Like, nobody wants, and I feel bad like for them as people, but no one wants to see BFAB and Michin on TV right now. It made the storyline, we talked about it last week, makes no sense for them to join Jade. I feel like nobody likes Jade. I feel like all the WWE Universe people that are buying seats over there are Team Rhea. No one wants to see this. And it's like, it's that quote from The Dark Knight. It was like, what makes you think I want to hear you talk? It's just kind of how I felt when they started talking. I was like, I don't want to hear this. I don't care. There's nothing you can say to make me believe why you joined her and makes me believe that she's going to beat Rhea.
Yeah, that match will definitely be like I can go make dinner match.
Mm.
There's really no build. There's no heat. They had heat, and then they just like threw water on it.
Yeah. It makes me feel like that Twitter thing was supposed to like, ooh, that's too real. Let's reel this back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then like just, oh, I think you have a great body, but I have a great body, but you have a great, like, I don't care. Punch each other. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see BFAB hit Rhea. Like, no. I don't know.
Or do you think that Rhea's actually going to win? Or you think they're going to take the title off Jade?
I don't see Rhea losing. I don't know. I feel like this Jade experiment, it's like, all right, we're done now. She looks great. She looks like she should be a champion, but she can't wrestle. She can't talk. It's time to do something different with her. I don't know if you put her back in NXT. Again, she doesn't need this. She doesn't look like she wants to be there. Put it on someone who actually likes wrestling, who cares about this business.
I can agree with Steven, who said that he thinks they're keeping the belt on Jade until Bianca is back. That was what they've been doing. And they kept waiting for Bianca to come back. And now I think that ship has sailed. That belt needs to come off Jade. She fucking sucks. She can't wrestle. She can't cut a promo. She herself says she didn't need this. Okay, if you don't need this and you don't want to be there, then bitch, get out of the ring for the people who actually want to fucking be there and actually want to win a title.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I miss Bianca on my TV a lot, but I know she had surgery and she was doing rehab, but it looks super, super gross. And then they're like, she might have to lose a finger. And like, I don't know.
Well, I think somebody posted that she has started training now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you gonna hold that belt on Jade until SummerSlam?
Yeah, hold up a whole division because of one person. Again, I love Bianca. I can't wait to have her back on my TV.
I mean, Jade and Bianca can have a match without a title.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's story there.
Mm-hmm. Or hold it until Nia can come back, or Naomi can come back, and then we can circle back to that. Because again, it was just a bad timing of, I don't want to say having a baby is bad timing. That sounds terrible, but just Bianca getting injured, Naomi getting pregnant, and then Jade on her own just feel like floundering, really. So we're going to circle back to Bianca. Jade, I don't think we need to hold a belt hostage to wait for Bianca. I mean, Reece, I am right there with you, sir. You know, Chelsea's our girl, and I would love to see a belt on her. But again, she needs to get out of her walking boot. Again, her in the wheelchair is hysterical, but like I want to see her in the ring.
Yes. Tacky time, yes. Her saying that to Tiffany Stratton was great.
Yeah.
So, I have some news. It looks like Mercedes Moné dropped another belt. This time she dropped her prime time women's wrestling title today in Poland. So she is down to 2 belts.
I was really worried when she was collecting all these belts that she would just like sort of like drop them, but just kind of like, oh, the Poland one, like, oh, I drop it and I'll just like mail the belt back to them. Like, I'm really happy that she went back and put someone over and put the belt back in the territory or the promotion or whatever. I was worried she wasn't going to go back and do that. So I'm really happy that that's what she's doing and putting over other women in the process.
I agree. And everybody that was fussing about her getting all these belts and TK paying these promotions to give her these belts, they did it because she is like a big name.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to get eyes on their product. And by having Mercedes hold these titles, they got eyes on their product.
Yeah. because then everyone was talking about this promotion in Poland and all the other little promotions she had other belts for. And your belt was on AEW TV when she had all the guys and she'd walk out and they were all on the table. Like, it is, I get it 110%. Her, coming in and taking these belts. I'm glad she just paid it back. So then
go ahead.
I'm sorry, then what 2 belts does she have left?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Reece, I'm sure you're Googling. I'm just curious because I'm
sure producer Reece will get on that for us and let us know.
Stop.
If you watch SmackDown on Friday, and I want to highlight this, they dropped the term Club WWE. Well, it came out yesterday that they have actually filed a trademark for that.
To do what with?
That's a good question.
Is that something for like the video game?
I don't know. It's probably another way to swindle money out of their fans. Join Club WWE for $4 million.
Right?
You can sit front row
and make pasta.
and make pasta with Axiom and get a bus tour with Cody Rhodes driving the bus.
I don't know.
I think this is I don't know.
No, so she'll probably drop the belt in Winnipeg and then be on Dynamite.
Well, I mean, with Tony Storm going down, we do need Mercedes to come back, so that does.
Yeah.
Just like I said, no one watches SmackDown.
I know.
I've got the perfect thing though. This is how I watch SmackDown. So Friday night, I was having a migraine from hell. So I was like, okay, I'll just listen to it. And so I just sat on the couch with my eyes closed in an ice pack and just listened to it. It was a little better with not actually having to watch the fuckery in the ring.
I usually, because we're usually done after our podcast is done after SmackDown already started. So I usually restart it probably about 45 minutes into it. And then I probably watch the first hour and fall asleep. And then it took me 2 tries to finish it this morning. Because then I have to pause it and, do life stuff. So I think it's
Monday night
in chunks.
It was Monday night and I can't remember what match was. I dozed off and I woke up and Raw was over and I was like, damn.
I do. I unfortunately I do that with Dynamite sometimes. I'll watch it. So I actually now looking back, I'm glad Kenny was first because I was up and functional for that. Once it hits 9:30, Nick and I are old. Because we're up so early that I am out. So I usually watch everything in chunks because I can't get through it. So maybe that's in chunks with your eyes closed. It's a way to watch WWE.
But it made it a little better than actually having to watch what was going on in the ring. Just listening to Tessitore and Wade Barrett tell me what was going on was a lot better. So now we have finished with our main event. It is time for everybody's favorite segment of Lipsticks and Lariats, our ringside fan turnbuckle. So we have some questions from our audience. So let's see. What are our takes on these questions? We have one from the weekly Steelchair podcast. It says, Cornerstone, Chris Jericho, does he go after Moxley?
No.
Does AEW really need Chris Jericho holding a title?
No.
If Moxley still has his, what has he got? The Continental Championship or whatever it's called?
The Crunch Wrap?
Yeah.
I don't, and maybe that's the problem. I can't think of a single person I want to see Chris Jericho wrestle.
If Jericho is calling himself the cornerstone of AEW, then he would need to go after Omega or the Young Bucks, because they were the other two cornerstones that created AEW.
Steven. I don't know. I don't want to see that match. We already saw him with Kenny. We already saw that. We don't need to go back to that. Jericho Young Bucks? Why? I'm also tired of seeing the Young Bucks on my TV. Again, like, are you going to have him be a mouthpiece for somebody? Like, you know, I know Nick loves a good faction. Do you give him something like the Pinnacle, or what was it before the Pinnacle? Why am I blanking?
The Inner Circle?
Yes, there you go. I don't know why I blanked out on that, but like maybe because I like early days Inner Circle, like I liked him with Sammy. I liked him. When Proud and Powerful were actually friends and together. That was great. Jake Hager, the weirdest, sweetest guy we've met on the Jericho cruise. But like, I don't know, them kind of put people over. Like, I don't need to see him with MJF again. Again, we saw that. Give me something new, but I feel like there's nothing new.
So Steven asks, is he willingly staying, re-signing, or is he having time added to his contract? My understanding was his contract got frozen when he went on tour with Fozzy.
Makes sense.
So the time that his contract was frozen, if he's coming back, he'll have now until like the end of the year, I suppose. That's what I've heard. Like October-ish, that his contract would run out.
How many months has he been off? Because I know, because wasn't there time that he had off and then he did the Fozzy tour? Because wasn't he?
Yeah, because I think he finally got the heat that the fans were like, you need to go.
Because like
Reece, he thinks he had 4 months.
Because everyone's like, he's gonna be at the Rumble, and it's like, well, when he's on tour and you're gonna have him like pull a Royce Keys and show up for a night and then leave, like that seemed weird. So like, and if he does have time, like I feel like he can maybe wrap a bow on his time in AEW and then go, I think next year, go to WWE, get your Hall of Fame ring, do all that spiel.
But would you really trust WWE to give Jericho a good retirement run?
I don't know anymore.
I mean, I will say that the AJ Styles retirement was probably the best, because AJ's like, I'm going to retire at, this pay-per-view, and that's it. Because y'all fuck John Cena so bad, you're not fucking me like that.
Yeah. And I feel like those matches towards the end, like I will defend him and Dom Mysterio. That match was beautiful. I did love the match with him and John Cena that, we pushed for, we, the wrestling community, pushed for in Australia. Again, people bitch about Gunther. I think it was fine, but I don't know. I guess it's your definition of good.
There you go. We can have Gunther versus Chris Jericho when Chris Jericho retires.
Good. Choke him out. Shut him up. Goodbye.
Dude, Chris Jericho would still be talking if he was choked out.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
We have a comment from our favorite Nick. He said the problem is the storytelling and backstories to the feud beyond just fighting for a belt. There has to be real issues that haven't aired yet beyond the belt.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I say that with the women's division. You either fight over a boy or a belt. There could be something different. And that's what you can use for Jade and Bianca. That is just like deep, like we were friends and we were not friends and you beat up my other friend and like this is like real stuff. It's not, don't fight about a boy. Don't stop with that, please.
Or you could fight over a bracelet.
Oh, God.
So Chester asked, who do we think Randy was on the phone with on SmackDown?
I still think it's his father, Cowboy Bob. I think there's a little hint of that with Matt Cardona. You put a cast on him, immediately he used the cast on Randy. I think I want to see that sprinkled in. Like, I don't know. I can tell you a bunch of people it's not going to be, but I don't know. Kat, what do you think?
With it being WWE, I could see them saying it's the voices in his head he's on the phone with, and it be actually nobody. Because that would be typical WWE. Am I wrong, Nikki? Am I wrong?
Oh my God, no. That's all I can think of now. He's like talking to himself. Well, he said wrestling has more than one royal family, so I guess the voices in his head are a part of him and that royal family. So that's why I think it's his dad. But now that's all I'm going to think about is they're going to start naming his personalities now. It's going to be like
give it like a schizo gimmick, and one day he's going to be Randy, the next day he'll be Keith, the next day he'll be Billy Bob, and so forth. Bob.
Oh my God!
But I'm like you. I originally thought it was probably his dad. Since, his grandfather wrestled, his dad wrestled, he wrestles, and he said they had more than one royal family.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some people say it could be Ted DiBiase. No. It could be Junior now that Junior's out of trouble. I mean, I could see them bringing him in. I mean, he doesn't look like he's in wrestling shape, but...
Then who is that for? Again, I remember Legacy back then, or obviously or Legacy of like their fathers and stuff. If I'm this, again, they say it's for the kids. If I'm this new kid watching and I'm like 12 years old and Randy's new friend is Ted, who the fuck is Ted? No, that's not going to pop anybody. Again, they got the poor reaction at Danhausen, and everyone's like, well, who the fuck is Danhausen? And now I think everyone loves him now, but it's like, if you're not giving us context, like, you say it's for the casual fan and the new fan, you're bringing all these kids in, but then you're dropping this in, and like, we're all supposed to be surprised. Or like, oh my God, I can't believe it's Ted DiBiase. Like, no one's going to do that. No one cares. Even people who knew who it was. But I guess I can say the same thing about it being his dad. Like, I don't know... You're not going to... I don't know if there's a younger
Well,
person.
I mean, his dad has been on TV with him before.
Right. With the Tiger feud.
So I could kind of see that more so than I could like a Ted DiBiase Jr. bringing him back.
Yeah.
And some people say it's Flair. We don't need Ric Flair in a wrestling ring.
We do not need... Oh, no. Don't put that in the universe. Do not put that in the universe. Sorry.
I haven't. Other people have.
No, because he's going to get in the ring. Oh, God. I hope Charlotte put a kibosh on that. Because I know he's tweeted sometimes before. He's like, I'm getting in the ring. And she's like, no, you're fucking not.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're just going to say it's the voices in his head. Oh, that's what I'm going with right now.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because they don't... I don't... And like people are saying, KO, what does Kevin Owens have to do with Randy Orton and his family? Unless you can say, you remember the story where KO was after Cody and he kept saying, Cody's a douchebag. Nobody believes me. And then he comes to Randy and Randy goes to him and goes, yeah, man, I should have listened to you. You were right. Cody was a douchebag.
But is KO cleared though? Is he?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard. He's, not really posted anything. He's kind of went silent.
And him coming back in this feud, I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I'd love that.
So I'm going with the voices in his head then.
Oh God. That's what it's gonna be now. Now I'm only gonna think that every time he's on the phone. Because what he said, like, he thanked them the one time, and there's like always like short little.
And then on this SmackDown, he's like, "I'll see you soon."
Yeah.
So if you're not gonna bring in his dad, it's got to be the voices, and then he's gonna transform himself into an alternate ego or something.
Oh my God, it's gonna be like when they try to make Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail and they put like a fleece thing over his face or like a doily or something. Oh.
Or could he be talking to Bo Dallas?
What's that got to do with Cody?
I don't know. I'm just saying, it's WWE.
This is more than I'm thinking. Now you have to think of like or is he talking to the NXT kids, Birthright, when all the second generation kids are gonna come up?
Well, it ain't gonna be Lexus King because I heard he got injured.
He did. Oh, he took like basically it was a knee to the. He basically just got like rocked.
Mm.
So I think he's in concussion protocol. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, we have
yes.
Nikki's gonna be thinking about that all the time now.
It broke my brain.
So we have another question. It says, "Do you think Tiffany is going to win the U.S. Championship at Mania?"
I think so.
Well, I mean, they do need to put it on their bleach blonde, big titty female.
Yep.
So, yeah, and they're probably going to book her as shitty as they did Julia, so it don't really matter.
And it's like,
and Tiffany needs to turn heel. She is not good as a babyface.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think you need to put the belt on Tiffany, maybe reshuffle a little bit. I like Kiana James. I wouldn't, a few between Kiana and Tiffany wouldn't be mad at. Again, Jordan Grace getting healthy or Chelsea Green getting healthy. I feel like that mid card could be good if everyone just got healthy and they booked them right. But again, I feel like they're sort of the same way. Our Julia experiment has not been going real well. Like, let's maybe take her off TV for a little bit, maybe rejigger her. Because I don't think she's connecting. Again, I think everyone wants her to be the Julia of 3 years ago in Stardom, and they're not letting her do that or be that.
But does WWE fans actually know the Julia of Stardom? Because WWE fans probably do not watch anything but WWE.
Yeah. I don't think she's connecting with their.
And what would you repackage her as? If you take her off TV for 2 or 3 months, what do you repackage her as and bring her back?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I hate to be like, then do you put her with like an Io or the Kabuki Warriors? Or that's something that they never, like when Io was on TV and she was having on SmackDown, she had that verbal exchange between Julia. I thought that would maybe lead into the US match because I think Io Julia could be a better match than Tiffy Julia.
Well, they're saying Io versus Asuka is what's proposed for Mania, which, I mean,
they haven't really brought any of that up.
There's really no story there except your story is you're going to fight for Kairi. We're going to have Kairi on a pole match, basically.
It should be Kairi Asuka if you're going to go that way. I don't know. I think they can do more with Tiffy at this point. And
if they let her become heel, if they let Tiffany become heel, because Tiffany looks like the rich, snobby white girl that is a bitch.
Yeah.
And she plays that character very well.
Agreed. I don't know why they turned her face. I feel like that's not really working. They probably should turn her heel. But I don't know. She's got to have the storyline to make her turn heel.
And then she turns heel. Who do you feud her with on SmackDown?
Who's your mid-card babyface? She is the mid-card babyface at this point.
If you turn her heel, then the only other person I can think of is Chelsea. And Chelsea's already has the title twice.
Are you going to turn her face then?
I think Chelsea's a tweener.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a heel or a face.
And if she's healthy, I really hope post-Mania we do get like a shake-up between Raw and SmackDown. I feel like we need to freshen up these feuds a little bit.
I agree.
Because again, we seen Tiffany Julia, we seen Tiffany Jade. You get Chelsea healthy, Jordan healthy, and maybe just switch this up. I don't know if Bailey Lyra is going to do anything. Maybe switch them around. It needs to be freshened up. But I don't think we do drafts or shakeups anymore. It's like this whole free agency crap that they pull. But I'm hoping after Mania there's a little shakeup.
Well, I mean, When are they going to do their draft? Are they going to do a draft? Or are they
No, they
just going to
haven't.
let people switch back and forth from show to show?
I don't know, because there's some people, like, they have there was, like, on their website, they have, like, free agents, and, like, Oba, Brock, and Danhausen can float. And then when they switched, when Sami Zayn first went to SmackDown, they were like, oh, there was a trade, and he's on here now. Or when Damian Priest went over, too. And then LA Knight went to Raw. There was just like, oh, they switched. Like, okay. I don't know if you need a formal, like, Stephanie McMahon needs to come out and be like, Raw is choosing blah, blah, blah. But do something. Shake it up a little bit.
Steven says Chelsea needs a storyline based on proving herself and proving Michael Hayes' totally unscripted comments wrong.
Yeah. I wouldn't be bad at that.
I wouldn't be neither, but that's not going to get approved by creative because Michael Hayes is in creative. And he's not going to make himself look like an ass.
Well, he did. He was on I don't know if you saw it. He was on the Undertaker's podcast, and he said that quote got cut and taken out of context. And then Undertaker basically said, like, Chelsea Green's great. She's underutilized. And Hayes was like, well, I agree with you.
Well, then if she's underutilized, you're on creative, Michael Hayes. Why don't you stand up for her and fight for her?
Yeah. But not defending Michael Hayes. I am not defending Michael P.S. Hayes here. But technically, isn't he on Raw and Chelsea's on SmackDown? So I don't know how much creative influence he has over this way. Like, I don't know how divided the...
Okay, I think this is how it goes. Triple H, and then Triple H's right-hand man is Bruce Pritchard, and then under Bruce, I think, is Michael. So if something happens to Bruce, I think Michael has Triple H's ear, and he could be like, hey, you know what I said about Chelsea? It was taken out of context. We should push her and give her the storyline to prove herself.
Yeah. Which could, again, when she gets help, when, like, she's cleared, again, we talked about it on Friday, she kicked the field goal thingy. So maybe post-Mania, that's the story. Maybe it's a redemption story for her to go after Rhea or go after Tiffy or Julia, whoever has that belt.
So I have a question. We've seen the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Get a match.
Uh-huh.
Nikki got hurt, but they say it's nothing serious.
Correct.
Do you think they're putting the titles on the Bella Twins at Mania?
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's like kind of how I think about the R-Truth Priest getting it. I think it's you're walking into his Mania. Thank you for your service, and I think it's the same for them. It's like, you know, they talk about how they revolutionized the business, and women's wrestling became women's wrestling because the Bella Twins said give Divas a chance. They already made them Hall of Famers. There's the first time they're back as a tag team since 2018. I think they'll give them the belts. They'll have the moment, and I think whether it's Backlash or Italy, I hope not to SummerSlam, but I think they'll drop them back to somebody. I don't think it's going to be a long reign. I think it's like a thank you, here's your Mania moment. And Nikki Bella needs the money.
Well, yeah. But why are they there? Why are they there? That is my question.
If you want to, we can bring it back. Like, they have the eyes of kind of outside people. They were total divas. They were total Bellas. They have the stuff that Nikki did with the that show on USA that came on after SmackDown with Carson Daly and Blake Shelton, whatever that thing was called. I feel like they think they bring in female eyes for not necessarily familiar with WWE.
The only thing people associate the Bella Twins with is Nikki dating John Cena and Brie being married to Bryan Danielson.
I know. AJ did come out promo was like, you know, unfortunately for you, wrestling talent is not sexually transmitted. Whatever she said that back in the day. it's really I get all the criticism and I hear it, but I also see that, like, again, WWE sees them as bringing in eyes, bringing younger females in, getting the female audience.
Well, Steven says people who aren't wrestling fans know who they are. I bet you I could go walk down the street and ask 20 people and they wouldn't know who the Bella Twins were. The same with Roman Reigns. I could walk down the street and ask somebody, had they heard of Roman Reigns? And they'd be like, no. I asked them, they heard of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, they could say yes, or John Cena, they could say yes. Talent is not sexually transmitted.
Thanks.
Oh, damn, Reece.
No, that's what AJ said that to the Bella Twins in the promo, whatever that was.
I think that should be a new segment on the show. Talent is not sexually transmitted.
But I don't know. I feel like they were technically in the wrestling business before they met either one of them. I get Nikki, well, they both met them there. Again, Nikki and Brie and Brian have been married for how long? Have 2 kids. I don't know. Sometimes people just need to make a paycheck, and Nikki needs the money because that piece of shit took all her money. So let them have their. It's not. They're gonna have it. They're gonna get their moment, and they're gonna drop it back to whoever. Like, I feel like I have more qualms with other wrestling stuff than giving the belts to the Bella Twins when their generation they didn't have the women's tag belts. When they would probably have held them for how long if there were a thing back then.
I'm just over the Bellas. I've never liked them.
I think they'll get a run with the tag buyouts, and then I think they'll kind of then reduce schedule. Unless they want, if they're trying to be like, hey, Brian, look how nice we're treating your wife, and maybe like try to bring him back. Because she was in the beginning, like when Nikki first came back and Brie didn't come back, she said that it was weird because obviously her husband's now is associated with the other place. So maybe it's like, look how great we're treating your wife. Maybe you can come back.
Maybe, but I don't see him going back.
I don't either,
I think he's happy with the role he has.
Yeah.
He gets to stay home pretty much all the time. You know, you travel to 1 show a week, maybe 2 shows a week.
Yep.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't think he's going back.
Probably not.
So, do we have any more questions before we end today's episode? Oh, we did it just a little over an hour, Nikki. How much are you both loving Danhausen?
Oh, I'm here for it. I loved it. I loved everyone booed his debut. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That's everything it needed to be.
I thought the debut was a little underwhelming, giving the build up. It was, you know, but I mean, I like Danhausen in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I've met Danhausen before. He's really cool in person. I would say he fits better in WWE than AEW.
Agreed. I'm here for it.
And I think we need a Danhausen Miz match eventually.
Yeah.
So we have a question from James. It says, does the unsanctioned match do both Drew or Jacob any favors? I thought this was going to be the Hell in the Cell match.
Justice for Drew. I think he should have walked in as champion. I know we don't want all the people in the matches, but to me, the 3-way between them would have been better. I don't know if this really does anything for them because I feel like both of them need to win. So are you just going to have this unsanctioned match that nobody wins?
I think this is their way of writing Drew off since, you know, he's going to go film Highlander after Mania. Yeah. And that Jacob injures him so bad that they're going to have to literally carry him out on a stretcher.
Yeah, Nick and I were
talking. Why they did unsanctioned.
Yeah.
So they can like beat the crap out of each other.
we were talking. I want this to be like whatever WrestleMania, blah blah blah. It was Goldust, Roddy Piper, Hollywood Backlot Brawl. Give me that. I want a car chase. I want it to be crazy. I want it to go to another match, so we have to cut back.
I need some blood in this match. If it's unsanctioned, there better be some blood. And I don't mean blading yourself. I want some blood the hard way.
Yeah. This match needs to be bananas.
Yep.
Or does nothing.
Chester's asking, do you see Tama Tonga leaving the MFTs to form an alliance with Shinsuke? And sitting catering with Shinsuke?
Again, I don't know what they're doing with that. Well, again, it was my rant about the U.S. title division. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the MFTs are doing. Or I think there's going to be some Bloodline Civil War.
They're still fighting over the lantern.
No one cares. No one gives a shit about the NFTs. And it makes me very sad to say.
And nobody gives a shit about the Wyatts. So
no, and that's what I said. It makes me sad, but no one gives a shit about the Wyatts. No one cares about this feud. And then that's why I love Tom. It was like, just give back the fucking lantern. Let's just move on with our lives.
Oh, do we have anything
Reece, else? Smack your hand.
What did he say? The faction is Gonzo. Billy has a question. Final question. How sickening was Sammy winning the title? Go back and watch Nikki's rant.
Go back and watch my rant. I was not happy about it at all.
And how can they not insert Mello into the match? Because they don't need a trios match. I think they should let Trick take the title and then set up a feud with him and Mello. I don't need a three-way.
I just think I guess I understand waiting. You want to put the belt on Trick and then lead maybe Trick Mello going into SummerSlam is that match over that belt, and you can bring in all the NXT stuff. This is just so force fed. I was like, hey, Trick, you got a match. Hey, Sami Zayn, you don't. And he's like, well, I'll get a match, sir. And now it's like, oh, Trick and Sami at Mania. Like, it's such shit booking. I hate it. Push your babies.
Yeah, we had a segment on that. Go back and watch her rant on that too.
Very ranty today.
Oh, do we have any more questions? My last question. Does everyone have a shade of lipstick to lay a final lyric?
I said when Reece asked to be a part of this, I was like, I can throw a lariat. I was like, I don't wear makeup, so this is not.
I don't wear makeup.
So we're just throwing lariats, babe. It's fine.
Does everyone have, okay. Finn and Dom doesn't need a stipulation. No, it just needs Finn whooping his ass because he's a little prick.
There you go.
I mean, I'm a Finn Balor fan, so.
No, I love Finn too.
And I think Finn has been done dirty in WWE after he had to drop the title because Seth fucking hurt him. No offense, Nikki. I know you love Seth.
No, it's fine. I know. It was very upsetting because I wanted Finn to win that match, and then he needs to put away that buckle bomb. And I think he did for a little bit, then it's back a little bit, but it's just.
Yes, go back and watch, Billy. We answered that. Nikki's not happy with my answer. So we were asked if you could book 3 matches for Mania, who are you booking, and are there additional steps or titles involved? I would book all my titles.
Yes, your title should be on Mania, absolutely.
Every title I had, I'd book them for Mania. I got 2 nights, I could book them.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. You want me to book 3 matches right now?
So, I mean, we already got Seth and Roman. I mean, Roman and CM Punk. I'd have Roman win because I hate CM Punk.
No, I don't want my champion.
And then I would have Roman and Seth feud and have Seth beat Roman.
At what paper? Are we going to not have our champion on TV until SummerSlam?
Oh no, I'd make the fucker show up. I'd be like, motherfucker, I'm signing your check. Your ass gonna be here. You drop the belt at SummerSlam, I don't care what the fuck you do after that.
Too busy being on Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon doesn't count. You need to be on my weekly show. Finn has to come to Mania as the Demon. I agree, but I don't know if Dom has brought that side out of him yet.
I just feel like his last Mania match as the Demon was against Edge, and
it got cut short because one of them got busted open.
Yeah, Finn got busted open.
Yeah,
and then he was on Cody's podcast saying that he doesn't like it was only the Demon can win matches. That it seemed like Finn couldn't win matches. And also he doesn't, as much as the makeup is cool and it's awesome, he doesn't change up his moveset. It's not like he becomes the Demon and he's throwing out all these other crazy moves. It's still all the same shit.
Yeah.
So just have it be Finn.
Yeah. I mean, they really haven't done anything to make the Demon come out. So just Finn and Dom. And Finn whoops his ass. Because he's a little prick. I mean, basically.
There you go.
So, Nikki, I have one more thing before we end.
Okay.
Evidently, The Rock revealed that he watches AEW and he's happy for the company's success. Do you think the WWE fans are going to turn on The Rock for saying or praising AEW?
Do you think he actually watches, though? I don't see him watching.
I think The Rock watches all wrestling. I think he watches like New Japan. I think he just watches wrestling in general because he's a wrestling fan.
I say all the boats, all the ships, all the tides. Like if you're gonna get mad because he's watching someone else, it's like again, I'm not like say that I'm not the tribalism. I don't get the tribalism. I want AEW to do well. I want WWE to step their shit up and do well. You know, again, we talked about Maple Leaf. Like we want them to do well. Like give me competition. Be a ratings war. Be better. So if The Rock is gonna be like, hey, I like AEW. AEW is really fucking good. Then WWE needs to step up because you're one of your shareholder men's or whatever the fuck he is on the board. Then like, oh, he's talking about them people. Like, let's raise our game. So maybe is there some kind of light in the fire there?
Well, I mean, you know, it did come out WWE has people that watch AEW. I mean, that would be a job I'd like to have. So if you're watching AEW and their storytelling has been a little bit better than yours, I think I might be stealing some ideas and tweaking them.
Why not?
So we were asked, who do we think attacked Toni Storm?
I don't think they know who attacked Toni Storm yet. I don't think I know Reece said Mina. I don't think there's a good enough person right now. No one makes sense to me. And I think if she's going to be out till next year, then we have a very long time to figure it out. I don't think they know.
If it was me, and this is how I would book it, I would make it when she was ready to come back. And I know she's going to be gone a year, and it's going to be tough, but I think she could do it. I would have it be Tekla. Tekla took her out because Tekla is scared that she's the only real competition she has in AEW to take her title. But do you keep the belt on Tekla for almost a year and a half?
Again, if Monet is fishing around, I don't know if that happens.
Or well, that's true. Or could Mercedes have paid somebody to take her out for Mercedes?
Yeah, where's Camille? Is she coming back? Could she have? Is there another? Could Mercedes paid like someone like a Megan Bain who's that to beat her up? I don't know.
That's interesting. I could. I'm going with Tekla, or maybe Mercedes paid somebody to make it easier so she wouldn't have to go through Tony and she can just go straight to Tekla.
Yeah.
Nick tells me Tekla doesn't make sense. He thinks it should be a debut or a big name. I just laid out the whole thing. It makes sense, Nick. Listen.
Boy doesn't listen. Boy does not listen. I don't know. I'm worried that it's such a long storyline that they have to, and then you're gonna have Mina come out every week, be like, I'm gonna find out. But if she's legit out till next year, then that's a long way to keep.
Well, Tony Khan is really good about starting a story and then dropping it, and then like 6 months later he comes back to it, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when they did that.
Yeah. Which is also exhausting too. Then also it's like the WWE side that they bring up a thing and then drop it. So I don't know. At this point, I feel like it could be anybody. You can talk me into anybody. It's Randy Orton's voices in his head did it.
There we go. And with that, it's going to be the end of episode 3 of the Lipsticks and Lariat podcast. Before we end, you can find me on Twitter at the Mid Podcast. You can also read my articles on themidpodcast.com. Nikki, where can people find you and listen to your wonderful takes?
You can find me and my hot husband at the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We are live from our bar at 6 o'clock every Friday. You can find us at Nick Teodoro on YouTube and find our show.
Check them out. Bring your drink and listen to some good takes. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show, because if you don't, I'm going to pay Reece to throw a cream pie at you. Anything else you got, Nikki?
I think that's it.
He said he'll take the money and decline. Okay.
You're going to be like Danhausen, take our $20 and run.
Hey, but his $20 did work because, Johnny did win on NXT. So the curse is reversed.
Candice LeRae pushed him. But in every man's a good woman trying to push him.
Well, that's true. Behind every good man, there is a better woman.
Girl.
So make sure you also like and subscribe to the weekly Steelchair podcast, who is so gracious to let us host the show on their channel. And until next Sunday, keep enjoying wrestling, trying to figure out who the voices or who's on the phone with Randy, the voices. And hopefully we get some more build to WrestleMania in the next couple of weeks. Until then, we'll see y'all next time. Bye. Guys.